Welcome back to Science in Sleeping. It is always such a gentle joy to have you here again, ready to drift into the quiet comfort of night. Tonight, we are going to wander together into one of the most mysterious questions of all time. A question that feels both immense and intimate. Does space ever truly end? Or does it stretch on forever into a quiet infinity? I want you to know right away that you do not need to hold on to every word you hear tonight. This is a space where your mind can rest as much as it learns. If you are here because sleep has been difficult, or because your thoughts have been racing, you are in the right place. This script is designed to slow the rhythm of your thoughts, to wrap them in a softer pace. You might drift away in minutes, or stay awake for longer. Either way, you are welcome here, and you are safe here. I would love to imagine where you are listening from right now. Perhaps you are lying in your bedroom with the faint glow of your phone beside you. Or maybe you are listening on headphones, curled under blankets in the stillness of the night. Some of you may even be watching on a television, the screen glowing softly in the background. Wherever you are, whatever time it is, I am glad you are here. If you'd like, you can even share in the comments below. Tell us what time it is, where you are, and what part of the world you're listening from. It is such a beautiful reminder that we are connected by this moment. A quiet, global community of curious minds, each of us gazing into the same night, each of us wondering together about the universe. Before we begin, take a moment to give yourself permission to rest. Your body has carried you through another day. It has held your weight, your thoughts, your worries, your energy, and now it deserves stillness. Take a deep breath in, letting the cool air fill your lungs, and slowly exhale, releasing just a little of what you no longer need. You might feel your shoulders loosen, your hands soften, your eyelids grow heavier. That is good. That is natural. Your only job here is to listen. And even if you stop listening, that is perfectly fine too. You do not need to remember anything. In fact, forgetting may be the very thing that lets you rest. The science, the stories, the imagery, all of it will still be here tomorrow if you want to return. For now, you can let it flow past you like water. Gentle, calming, endless. Now, let us set the scene for tonight's journey. We are going to drift into the vastness of space, that great black canvas above us, scattered with stars that have burned for billions of years. Have you ever stared at the night sky and wondered where it all ends? Perhaps you've tried to imagine traveling further and further outward, beyond the stars, beyond the galaxies, beyond everything we know. At some point, your mind might have stopped and whispered, does it go on forever? Or is there an edge, a boundary, a final frontier? This question has puzzled philosophers, scientists, and dreamers for thousands of years. And tonight, we will explore it together. Not with urgency, not with stress, but with curiosity. As though we are sitting by a quiet fire, telling stories about the stars. Because, in many ways, that is what this is. A story about space, and a story about sleep. I want you to imagine the universe as we begin. Picture it not as something cold or intimidating, but as a vast, soft night sky stretching gently around you. Imagine the stars twinkling like lanterns hung in an endless dark garden. Imagine galaxies swirling slowly like ripples on a pond. Feel yourself floating in this expanse, weightless, safe, and unhurried. There is no pressure to understand everything. Just let the images arrive like dreams, faint, glowing, drifting. Tonight's journey will carry us through ancient beliefs and modern science. We will touch on how people across time have imagined the universe, from the earliest myths to the most advanced theories. We will explore what it means to think about infinity and how it feels to wonder about edges that may not exist, all while moving in a rhythm meant to slow your breathing and soften your thoughts, so that by the time we reach the farthest edges of our story, you may already be asleep, floating quietly in your own universe of rest. So now, settle in, close your eyes if you like, adjust your blanket, let your pillow cradle your head. We are about to begin this journey, not into the stress of the day, but into the quiet of the night, into the wonder of space, into the mystery of infinity, and into the peaceful drift of sleep. Have you ever stared up at the night sky and wondered if it ever truly ends? The stars seem countless, scattered across an endless dark canvas, and yet our minds always whisper the same question. If you kept going farther and farther, would you reach a wall or a boundary, or perhaps a doorway into something even stranger? It is a question that has tugged at human imagination for thousands of years, and tonight we let it tug at us too, gently, calmly, without needing an answer right away. Imagine yourself lying in a quiet field, the grass cooled beneath you, the air still except for the faint rustle of leaves. Above you stretches the entire dome of the sky, stars glittering like tiny sparks of silver pinned to velvet. You feel the weight of your body soften against the ground, the earth holding you as though you were part of it. In this moment, there is no rush, no deadlines, no to-do lists, just you and the sky. It feels as though you could reach your hand upward and touch eternity. And in that thought, you already begin to drift. Now, let us turn to what science tells us when we ask whether space ends. The first thing we must realize is how little of it we have actually seen. Our telescopes, even the most powerful, like the James Webb, can only capture light that has had enough time to reach us. This means we can only see a portion of the universe, what scientists call the observable universe. The observable universe stretches about 93 billion light-years across. That number is so immense, it feels almost meaningless. So let us soften it into an image. Picture yourself walking down a long beach, every grain of sand, a star. Now imagine not just one beach, but every beach on Earth. Every grain, every particle of sand, the number of stars in the observable universe may still exceed even that. And yet, vast as it is, that is only what we can see, not necessarily all that there is. One of the fascinating things about space is that it is expanding, not in the sense of galaxies flying outward through empty space, but in the sense of space itself stretching, like dough rising. Imagine you have a balloon with dots drawn on its surface. As you blow air into the balloon, the dots move farther apart. The galaxies are like those dots, not traveling through space, but being carried apart as space itself grows. And this raises a quiet but profound question. If the universe is expanding, does that expansion have an edge? Is there a place where it stops, like the end of a road, or does it continue endlessly, beyond what we can measure? The truth is, we don't yet know. Some theories suggest that the universe is infinite, stretching endlessly in all directions. Others suggest that it may be finite but unbounded. Think of the surface of the earth, which is finite in size but has no edge. If you keep walking in one direction, you never fall off a cliff. You simply circle back in the same way. Space might be curved so that traveling in one direction long enough would eventually bring you back to where you started. It is a dizzying, beautiful possibility, and yet, rather than feeling overwhelming, it can also be deeply comforting, because it means that whether space is finite or infinite, it embraces us completely. Did you know that even now, as you lie listening, light from distant galaxies is still traveling toward us? Some of that light has been on its journey for over 13 billion years. It left its home before Earth had even formed, before oceans, before mountains, before life. And only tonight does it arrive at your eyes or at the lens of a telescope. Think of it, every star in the night sky is not only a point of light, but a memory, a time capsule carrying ancient stories across unimaginable distances. To gaze at the stars is to gaze back in time. Perhaps that is why it feels so dreamy, so hypnotic, so sleep-inducing, because the stars themselves are whispers from the beginning of everything. And what of the edge, the boundary we long to imagine? If there were one, what would lie beyond it? Would there be a void, silent and empty, or another universe entirely? Some scientists speak of the multiverse, countless universes, each with its own laws. Others suggest that beyond the observable universe is simply more universe, repeating endlessly, whatever the truth may be. It reminds us of something profound, that our place within the cosmos is both impossibly small and yet perfectly meaningful. We are stardust that has become conscious enough to look back at the stars. We are the universe dreaming about itself. So, as you listen, let yourself breathe in the wonder of this mystery. Let your mind drift not toward answers, but toward the vastness of possibility. Like a ship gently rocking on quiet waters, your thoughts can sway between the known and the unknown, between the comfort of what science has discovered and the poetry of what remains hidden. There is no need to choose between them, no need to decide, only to rest in the fact that space, like sleep, is larger than we can hold, and in that largeness there is peace. And now, as we prepare to float into the next part of our journey, carry with you the image of lying in that field beneath the endless night, the stars above, the earth below, your breath rising and falling like waves. In a moment, we will wander deeper into the ancient stories people once told about the cosmos, for before science, there were myths. And those myths, too, can guide us into sleep. Have you ever wondered how people long ago answered the question of where space might end? Before telescopes, before mathematics, before physics, humanity still looked up at the stars and searched for meaning. They did not have science to guide them, but they had imagination, and with imagination, they painted the night sky with stories, with gods, with mysteries that shaped their lives. What might it have felt like to lie beneath the stars in ancient times, with no city lights, no noise, only the quiet stretch of black sky overhead? It must have felt at once comforting and terrifying. Comforting because the stars were always there, marking the seasons, guiding travelers, and terrifying because no one knew what lay beyond. Or, if it ended at all, imagine yourself in such a time. Picture yourself standing in the desert thousands of years ago. The air is cool after the heat of the day. Above you, the stars are so bright, so sharp, that they cast faint shadows on the sand. The silence is immense, broken only by the whisper of wind. There is no glow of towns, no hum of machines, no distraction but the cosmos itself. You look upward, and the sky feels so close you could almost reach it. And so your mind fills it with meaning, because the human mind cannot help but wonder. The ancient Babylonians believed the heavens were a solid dome arching above the earth, a ceiling stretched by the gods, holding back the waters of chaos. The stars were holes in this dome, little windows through which the divine light could seep. The Egyptians imagined the sky as the goddess Nut, her body arching over the earth, her skin glittering with stars. Each night she swallowed the sun, and each morning she gave birth to it again. The Greeks thought of the cosmos as a great ordered structure, with the earth at its center and the heavens as crystal spheres turning above. To them, the edge of space was not emptiness but perfection, a realm of divine harmony. In China, the heavens were a great celestial dome resting upon the flat earth, and the stars were lanterns hung by celestial beings, keeping watch over human life across the world. In every culture, the mystery of space became a story, and each story was both a comfort and an attempt to draw a boundary where none could be seen. Now think about this. In those stories, the edge of space was never just a question of science. It was a question of safety. If the dome of heaven held back the waters of chaos, then the edge was where danger lurked. If the goddess arched above you, then the edge was her protection. If crystal spheres surrounded the earth, then the edge was where perfection lived. The thought that space might go on forever, infinite and without walls, was too vast, too frightening, so instead they wrapped it in myths, in shapes the human heart could hold, and in doing so, they made the night sky less frightening, more like a home. Did you know that many ancient cultures believed stars were not distant suns, but living beings? Some thought they were the souls of the departed, shining as guides to the living. Others thought they were fires lit by gods to keep watch, even today. Some indigenous traditions carry these beliefs forward, and if you lie under the stars long enough, you may feel it too. The sense that those lights are not cold and distant, but alive, whispering, watching, connecting you to something greater. And yet, even within those myths, there was suspense. What if the dome cracked? What if the goddess faltered? What if the spheres broke apart? There is always the shadow of mystery behind comfort, a reminder that no story can hold the true vastness of the universe. That edge, that limit, remained hauntingly unknown, and it is that unknown that still calls to us today. Pause for a moment and imagine you are sitting by a fire thousands of years ago, listening to a storyteller explain how the stars came to be. The flames flicker, the night deepens, and as the tale weaves on, you find yourself lulled by both wonder and fear. It is the same rhythm we are entering now, the rhythm of curiosity softened into rest, a rhythm that lets your mind drift between the comfort of myth and the vastness of mystery. Now, let us connect these ancient myths to what science later uncovered. For while myths gave us poetry, science gave us structure. The transition from stories of domes and goddesses to theories of galaxies and infinity is not a break, but a bridge, because both are born from the same human need to look up at the stars and ask, what is out there? And perhaps, even more importantly, what does it mean that we are here? And so, the suspense of the universe continues. For if ancient stories painted the edges of space with gods and guardians, modern science paints it with light and expansion. But neither removes the mystery. Neither closes the question, because when we look at the stars, we are not just seeking knowledge, we are seeking comfort. And that comfort lies not in finding the edge, but in realizing the edge may never truly be found. Breathe in that thought for a moment. The stars above you are not only distant objects, but timeless questions. Questions that have drifted through centuries, from myths by the fire to equations on chalkboards. Questions that whisper to you now, as you lie here in the dark. Does space end, or does it go on forever? The suspense does not demand an answer. It invites you to rest inside the question itself, like a lullaby sung not to close your eyes, but to let them grow heavy. And as we drift onward, let us carry these myths with us, for they are not abandoned truths, but stepping stones. They are part of the story of how humanity has always tried to soften the night. And next, we will see how those stepping stones led to the first stirrings of true science, where philosophers became astronomers, and where curiosity began to reach just a little farther into the dark. Have you ever wondered what it must have felt like to be the very first person to look at the stars and ask, not just what story do they tell, but what are they made of? To shift from myth to measurement, from story to science, is one of the most daring leaps the human mind has ever taken. It was not an easy path, for to question the heavens was often to question power, tradition, and belief itself. And yet, curiosity has always been stronger than fear. It whispers in the night, even when silence is demanded. It dares to look upward and wonder. Imagine yourself in ancient Greece. The air is warm, the sky filled with constellations so sharp they almost seem alive. Philosophers gather in courtyards, their robes brushing the stone floors, their voices carrying through the night. They are not content with myths of domes and goddesses. They believe that reason, pure thought, can uncover the structure of the universe. Aristotle, with his deep gaze and calm voice, argues that the earth must be the center of everything, that the heavens, perfect and unchanging, revolve around us. He believes the stars are fixed upon crystalline spheres, clear and eternal, turning in perfect harmony. To him, this order is beauty itself. It makes sense, it comforts the mind, and for centuries, his vision holds sway, a universe closed, finite, secure. But then, whispers of challenge arise. Some thinkers, like Aristarchus, dare to suggest that perhaps it is the sun, not the earth, that sits at the center. Imagine how radical this must have sounded, to take the earth, the home of gods, of temples, of people, and move it from the throne of the cosmos to just one moving body among many. It was an idea too strange for most to accept, and so it faded into obscurity. Yet the seed was planted, quietly, like a spark waiting to ignite. Now picture yourself in Renaissance Europe. The world is changing, art and science awakening after centuries of darkness. It is here that that a man named Nicolaus Copernicus begins to dream of a new order. He spends long nights with parchment and ink, scribbling numbers and diagrams. He dares to revive the idea that the Earth is not the center, that we orbit the sun, that the stars are far beyond. And though he publishes cautiously, near the end of his life, his book becomes a silent revolution, a crack in the ancient crystal spheres. A reminder that the universe may be larger, stranger, and more infinite than we had ever allowed ourselves to believe. Suspense grows because knowledge does not come without resistance. To challenge the heavens was to challenge the very order of society. The church, the rulers, the traditions, all were built upon a universe of stability. To move the earth was to move the foundation of everything. But the truth has a way of shining through, like starlight through cracks. And soon others take up the torch. Enter Galileo Galilei, standing in a quiet room with a simple telescope. The glass is crude, the magnification small, and yet what he sees will change the world forever. He points it at the moon, expecting a smooth, perfect sphere. But what he finds are craters, mountains, scars of stone and shadow. Perfection shatters. He turns it to Jupiter, and to his astonishment, he sees moons circling it. Not everything orbits Earth. The center is shifting, the suspense building. He shares his findings, and the world trembles. Some embrace him, others condemn him. But the truth cannot be unseen. And then Johannes Kepler, working tirelessly with the data of Tycho Brahe, he discovers that planets do not move in perfect circles, but in ellipses. The heavens are not crystalline perfection, but dynamic, mathematical, alive. It is as though the universe has been holding its breath, waiting for someone to notice its deeper patterns. Each discovery is not an ending, but another doorway, another glimpse into the infinite. And yet, each discovery also raises the same suspenseful question. If the Earth is not the center, if perfection is broken, then what truly lies beyond? Is there an edge at all? Or only layers upon layers of mystery? Did you know that even in these early days, some thinkers speculated the stars might be suns themselves, each with their own worlds, their own skies, their own mysteries? It was a daring thought, one that made the universe feel both terrifyingly large and wonderfully full. For if stars are suns, then perhaps the cosmos is not empty. Perhaps it is crowded with life, with stories, with infinities beyond infinities. A thought so vast it lingers in the mind long after it is spoken. And through all of this, one thing becomes clear. The universe is not smaller than we feared. It is larger than we imagined. Each myth replaced by science, each certainty replaced by deeper questions. And with each question, the suspense only grows, because the more we learn, the more we realize how little we know. It is as though the universe is a book, and we have only just opened the first page. The story stretches on, and on, and on. Now, rest with this thought. The same stars that once guided myths, that once inspired philosophers and scientists, still shine above you tonight. The same moon Galileo sketched, the same Jupiter he marveled at. They are still there, waiting for your eyes. You are part of this story, not separate from it. Every breath you take is connected to this chain of wonder, from the myths of Babylon to the telescope of Galileo, to the very questions you hold now. Does space end, or does it go on forever? The suspense is not a burden, it is a comfort, because it means the universe still has secrets to share. And in those secrets, there is always room for dreaming. And so, as we close this part of our journey, imagine Galileo turning away from his telescope, his eyes wide with discovery. Imagine Kepler scribbling numbers late into the night, guided only by candlelight and determination. Imagine Copernicus placing his book on a shelf, quietly reshaping history. They are voices in the long lullaby of the cosmos, voices that whisper to you still. And as you let your thoughts drift, we will step next into the age where science meets the infinite directly, where telescopes grow stronger and the universe begins to reveal not only planets and moons, but galaxies beyond number. A new chapter awaits, and with it, new suspense, new wonder, and new rest. Have you ever thought that perhaps the night sky you see is only a tiny sliver of what is truly out there? For thousands of years, humanity believed the stars above us belonged to our own great cosmic home. The Milky Way, the river of light stretching across the night, seemed infinite, and surely it must have contained all that existed. But what if the truth was far greater? What if the universe itself was not a single island, but an endless ocean filled with countless islands? This question lingered quietly in the shadows of science for centuries, and when the answer came, it changed everything. It transformed the universe from a home into a vast frontier, and with that frontier came awe, suspense, and wonder beyond imagining. Picture yourself standing on a quiet hillside 100 years ago. The air is crisp, the night clear. Above you, the Milky Way glows in delicate threads of silver dust. If you gaze long enough, you might notice faint, fuzzy smudges among the stars, strange little clouds, ghostly patches of light. Astronomers of the time called them nebulae. Some believed they were clouds of gas within our own galaxy. Others whispered that perhaps they were entire universes of their own. But no one truly knew, and in that unknowing, suspense hung heavy in the night. Now imagine Edwin Hubble in the 1920s, standing at the Mount Wilson Observatory. Before him is the Great Hooker Telescope, the largest in the world at the time. Its massive dome hums faintly, its mirrors gleaming in the dark. Hubble peers through the eyepiece at a faint smudge in the constellation Andromeda. He studies it carefully, methodically. He measures its light, searching for the subtle pulses of certain stars called Cephids. These stars are like cosmic lighthouses, their brightness rising and falling in a rhythm that reveals their distance. And what Hubble finds is astonishing. The Andromeda Nebula is not within the Milky Way at all. It is far, far beyond an entire galaxy of its own. Pause here and feel the suspense of that revelation. For in one moment, the universe multiplied. The Milky Way was no longer the whole of existence. It was just one galaxy among billions, each galaxy holding hundreds of billions of stars. Each star, perhaps with its own worlds. The cosmos had expanded beyond imagination, and humanity had taken its first true step into infinity. Did you know that the light from Andromeda that Hubble studied had traveled more than 2 million years before reaching his telescope? Think of that for a moment. When that light left its home, there were no humans on Earth, only early ancestors walking the ancient plains. And now, in a quiet dome in California, it fell into the eyes of a man who realized its meaning. Light as a messenger, carrying not only beauty but truth across cosmic time. A truth that reshaped our place in the universe forever, and the suspense only grew deeper. For Hubble's work did not stop at discovering galaxies. He noticed something else, something hidden within the light itself. When he studied the colors of galaxies, he saw that their light was stretched, shifted toward the red. It was as though the galaxies were rushing away from us, carried on invisible tides. From this, he realized the universe was not static, but expanding. Not a still picture, but a living motion. Every galaxy drifting away, every corner of space stretching wider. The universe itself breathing outward. What does it mean for space to expand? It is not that galaxies are flying through emptiness, but that space itself is growing, carrying them apart like leaves on the surface of a rising loaf of bread. Imagine painting dots on a balloon and blowing it up. The dots move farther apart, though they do not move themselves. So too with galaxies in the fabric of space. And this raises the most suspenseful question of all. If the universe is expanding, what is it expanding into? Is there an edge beyond which there is nothing? Or does the expansion itself define reality? It is a mystery that has haunted science for a century, and it remains unsolved, even now. Close your eyes for a moment and picture it. Billions of galaxies, each swirling with billions of stars, like glowing islands scattered across a dark ocean without shores. You are floating in this ocean, weightless, Tom. The stars shimmer like distant lanterns. The galaxies drift apart. Slowly, endlessly, there is no edge in sight. Only the gentle stretching of space. And with each breath you take, you are part of this expansion. Your very body, your very atoms, are carried on the same tides of the cosmos. Poets have said that the universe is like a dream, dreaming itself. And perhaps that is true. For what could be more dreamlike than galaxies multiplying in the dark? Worlds upon worlds, hidden beyond reach. An endlessness that humbles and comforts at the same time. It means we are not alone in the sense of being solitary. We are part of something vast, a story without edges, a lullaby sung across billions of light years. And yet suspense lingers, because if the universe is expanding, does that mean it had a beginning? Does expansion imply it once was smaller? Perhaps infinitely small. Scientists began to wonder. If everything is rushing apart now, could we rewind the clock and find the moment it all began? A moment not of edges, but of birth, a single spark that blossomed into all that is. The idea of the Big Bang was born, and with it, another layer of suspense. For, if the universe began, does it have to end? Or will it stretch forever? A question that echoes softly as you drift deeper into rest. So now, let yourself breathe gently. Imagine Hubble stepping away from his telescope. The night air cool on his face. He cannot know it yet. But he has opened a door that will never close. He has shown us that we live not in a single home, but in a vast archipelago of galaxies, an infinite sea whose shores we may never touch. The suspense of the cosmos is not a storm, but a lull. It rocks us gently, cradles us in mystery, and as we leave this chapter behind, we drift onward, toward the next great discovery. The search for what lies not only in galaxies, but in the invisible forces between them. For hidden in the dark, the universe keeps more secrets. Secrets of energy, of matter unseen, and soon we will listen to those secrets together. Have you ever felt that something invisible was guiding you? That there might be forces shaping your life, even though you could not see them? Now imagine that same feeling stretched across the entire universe. Galaxies spinning in perfect spirals, stars holding their places as though caught in an unseen embrace. And yet, what keeps them bound cannot be seen, cannot be touched, cannot even be measured directly. This is the great mystery of the cosmos, the hidden fabric that makes up most of reality, the unknown known as dark matter and dark energy. Picture yourself drifting through space. Galaxies float all around you, glowing islands scattered in the vast sea of night. Their stars shimmer like glittering jewels, arranged in delicate spirals. But here is the strange truth. By all the laws of physics, those galaxies should not exist. The stars spin too fast. The galaxies whirl too quickly. They should tear themselves apart, fling their stars into the void, and yet they remain whole, balanced, graceful, as though some invisible glue holds them together. That glue is dark matter, unseen but undeniable. Astronomers first discovered this hidden force not by sight, but by weight. They measured the speed of galaxies, expecting to find stars moving slower at the edges, like planets circling the sun. Farther stars should drift lazily around the galactic core, but instead, the stars at the edges raced just as fast as those near the center. Something unseen was holding them in place. Something heavy, something vast, in fact. Most of the matter in the universe, nearly 85%, is this invisible substance, dark matter, the silent guardian of galaxies. Imagine for a moment that you are walking through a foggy forest. The trees loom around you, their trunks hidden by mist. You cannot see what lies between them, but you feel its presence. Branches creak, the air stirs, shapes move just out of sight. That is how dark matter exists. Not visible, but undeniably there. A shadow scaffolding holding the stars in their orbits. A cosmic net stretched across the heavens, and without it, galaxies would unravel. The night sky itself collapsing into chaos. But the suspense deepens still. For if dark matter shapes the structure of galaxies, dark energy shapes the destiny of the universe itself. In the late 20th century, astronomers expected to find the universe slowing down. Gravity, after all, should pull everything back. But when they looked deeper, they discovered something far more astonishing. The universe is not slowing, it is accelerating. Galaxies are racing apart faster and faster. Some hidden force is pushing them, stretching space wider and wider. This force is called dark energy, and it makes up nearly 70% of all the universe. It is the great cosmic unknown. Think about that for a moment. Everything we can see, stars, planets, you, me, every atom of light and dust, is less than 5% of what truly exists. The rest, the vast majority, is invisible. Dark matter and dark energy. A universe whose deepest essence is hidden from sight. It is as though we are reading only the cover of a book while the story inside remains locked away. And yet we turn the pages of that mystery. Every night we gaze at the stars. Let yourself imagine floating above a galaxy. You see its stars glowing like fireflies, spiraling in elegant patterns, and surrounding it, though invisible, is a great halo of dark matter, like an unseen hand cradling the galaxy, keeping it whole, and farther still, in the silent reaches between galaxies. Dark energy stirs, it pushes gently, invisibly, stretching the very stage on which existence plays out. You drift among it, weightless.com. The stars hum softly around you. The universe expands quietly beneath your breath. It is a lullaby of mystery, and you are part of it. Did you know that some scientists believe dark matter could be made of particles we have never detected? Particles that pass through you this very moment. Billions of them flowing through your body each second without leaving a trace. You cannot feel them, but they are there, invisible companions woven into the fabric of your being. Or perhaps dark matter is something stranger still, an unseen dimension curled around our own, a hidden layer of reality brushing against us without ever being touched. The suspense of not knowing is almost as beautiful as the answer itself, and dark energy even more mysterious. It raises questions so profound they blur the line between science and philosophy. If the universe keeps accelerating, will it stretch forever? Will galaxies drift so far apart that their light can no longer reach each other? Will the night sky someday grow dark, silent, empty? Or will dark energy shift, turn inward, pulling everything back in a final collapse? A great cosmic heartbeat, expansion and contraction. The suspense of our fate lies in the hands of something we cannot even see. Close your eyes for a moment. Feel the calm weight of mystery pressing softly around you. You are made of atoms, born from stars, but most of what exists is something beyond atoms. Beyond stars, it is the invisible sea in which you float. And though you cannot see it, you are carried by it, sustained by it, like a dreamer held in the arms of a dream. Some say dark matter and dark energy are like the blank spaces in music, the silence that makes the notes possible. Others say they are the whispers of dimensions we cannot yet perceive. Whatever they are, they remind us that the universe is far greater than our senses, that the true beauty of existence lies not only in what is known, but in what remains unknown. Suspense and wonder are not flaws in our knowledge. They are the very essence of discovery. They are what keep us gazing upward, night after night. And so, as you drift deeper into rest, let the thought of invisible forces soothe you. Dark matter holding galaxies in its unseen embrace. Dark energy stretching the fabric of space. You are part of this grand mystery, a witness to a universe where most of reality is hidden, but hidden not in fear, hidden in beauty, hidden in awe. The suspense is not meant to frighten, but to cradle you like the soft dark of night itself. And as we leave this chapter, we carry the mystery with us, knowing that what we cannot see is just as important as what we can, and that the invisible may hold the deepest truths of all. Have you ever wondered what time really is? Not the hours on a clock, not the dates on a calendar, but time itself. Is it a river flowing in one direction, carrying us from birth? Or is it a vast landscape where past, present, and future all exist at once? If space has boundaries, what about time? Could there be an edge to moments, a beginning or an end? Or does time itself stretch into infinity, wrapping the universe in its invisible embrace? Picture yourself standing in a quiet meadow under the night sky. The grass sways softly, the stars glow gently above you, and all around you there is silence. You take a breath and you feel the moment. But here is the strange thing. That moment has already slipped away. Even as you try to hold it, it is gone, replaced by another, like grains of sand through your fingers. Time falls silently, endlessly, and yet we live our entire lives within it, never outside of its stream. For centuries, time was thought of as simple, absolute, unchanging, like a great clock in the sky ticking the same for everyone, everywhere. But in the early 20th century, Albert Einstein shattered that idea. He showed that time bends, twists, and flows differently depending on where you are. If you are near something massive, like a planet or a star, time slows down. If you are moving quickly through space, time stretches. This is not just theory, it has been measured with clocks. Two identical watches, one kept on Earth, another flown on a fast jet. When reunited, the clocks no longer agree. One ticked more slowly, as though time itself had shifted. Imagine that for a moment. Two people, twins perhaps, born at the same instant. One stays on Earth, the other boards a spaceship, traveling close to the speed of light. When the traveler returns, they are younger than the twin who remained. Not just by perception, but in reality, time has passed differently for them. The universe does not give all of us the same river of moments. Instead, it bends that river around mass, around motion, around energy. This is where the suspense deepens, because if time can bend, what does that say about its true nature? Einstein's equations suggest that past, present, and future all exist together, that what we call now is just one slice of a much larger reality, a block of time where every moment already exists, like a book already written, each page waiting to be read, and we, living beings, are simply reading one line at a time. What does that mean for free will, for choice, for destiny? Are we writing our lives, or only discovering them, line by line? Some scientists believe time began with the Big Bang, that there was no before, because time itself did not exist. Others wonder if time might loop, an endless cycle of universes expanding and collapsing, birth, death, rebirth, like the breathing of some great cosmic being. And still others whisper of parallel timelines, worlds where every possibility unfolds, where each decision you make creates another stream of reality. If so, then time is not a single river, but an infinite delta, branching endlessly into the unknown. Let's take a gentle pause. Imagine yourself walking along a vast shoreline at night. The waves wash against the sand, again and again. Each wave is a moment. It arrives, it recedes, it leaves a trace. But beyond the horizon, countless more waves are forming. Do they already exist before they touch the shore? Or are they created only when they arrive? That is the mystery of time, a question with no final answer, only layers of wonder. Did you know that the ticking of time is different at the top of a mountain compared to the bottom? Clocks placed higher above the earth run ever so slightly faster, because gravity is weaker there. This has been proven with atomic clocks so precise they can measure differences of billionths of a second, which means that even here, even now, you are not aging at the same rate as someone above you or below you. Every second of your life is stretched or compressed. Time is not fixed. It is alive, dynamic, mysterious. Think of the suspense in this. If time itself can bend and shift, could it ever break? Could there be a way to travel through it? Forward into the future, backward into the past. Einstein's theories allow for the bending of time into loops. Cosmic shortcuts called wormholes might, in theory, connect distant points in space and time, and yet paradoxes lurk. What happens if you travel back and meet yourself, or change something small that unravels everything? The suspense of time travel is not just in science fiction. It is woven into the mathematics of the cosmos, waiting like a door we are not ready to open. And then comes the most haunting thought of all. If the universe has an end, does time itself also end? If galaxies drift apart forever under the push of dark energy, will time grow cold and silent? Or if the universe collapses back on itself, will time reverse, pulling everything back to its beginning? Or perhaps time is an illusion, not a river, not a landscape, but simply a way our minds organize experience, a trick of perception layered over something far stranger, something we cannot yet imagine. Close your eyes. Feel the seconds slip by as you listen, each one vanishing even as it is born. Yet, in some sense, they all remain. Moments of your childhood, moments yet to come, all suspended somewhere in the tapestry of time. You are a traveler, moving through them, slowly, gently, carried by a river you cannot step out of. And though the river is mysterious, though its source and mouth are hidden, there is comfort in its flow. It carries you forward, always forward, through dreams, through wakefulness, through night into day, through mystery into meaning. So as we leave this chapter, let the suspense of time cradle you, not as something to fear, but as something to wonder at. Time bends, time shifts, time holds you, and though its true nature may be hidden, its flow is steady, gentle, eternal. You are part of its movement, and as you drift into sleep, you are drifting with it, into the infinite embrace of tomorrow. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to stand at the very edge of existence, to peer into a place where light itself cannot escape, where time slows almost to a stop, and the universe seems to whisper its deepest secrets into an eternal shadow? These places exist, scattered through the cosmos. They are black holes, and they are at once terrifying and profoundly beautiful. Picture yourself floating in the night sky. A sea of stars surrounds you, each one shining softly, peacefully, and then, off in the distance, there is a place where no star dares to linger, a patch of darkness deeper than the night around it. It does not sparkle, it does not glow, it swallows, silently, invisibly. You drift closer, and you realize that what you are looking at is not empty space, but the gravity of a collapsed star, a place so dense, so heavy, that nothing, not even light, can escape its grasp. Black holes begin with death. A massive star, after burning its fuel for millions of years, collapses under its own weight. The core shrinks, compressing smaller and smaller until it becomes unimaginably dense. All that remains is a singularity, a point of infinite compression surrounded by the event horizon, that invisible boundary where escape is no longer possible. Cross that line, and you are lost to the universe forever. The suspense lies not only in what they are, but in what they might reveal. Because black holes are more than just cosmic traps. They are laboratories of the impossible, places where our understanding of physics begins to unravel. At the edge of a black hole, space itself bends, time slows to a crawl. To a distant observer, an object falling toward a black hole never truly crosses the event horizon. Instead, it lingers there, frozen in time, fading slowly into darkness. But to the falling object itself, time flows normally. One moment it drifts, the next it plunges into the abyss. The contradiction leaves us with a riddle that science has not yet solved. Did you know that black holes can sing? When two black holes spiral together and merge, they send ripples through the very fabric of space-time. These ripples are called gravitational waves, and they stretch and squeeze reality itself as they travel across the cosmos. Here on Earth, delicate detectors have caught these whispers of colliding giants. A faint hum from billions of light years away. It is as though the universe is strumming a string, and we are only just beginning to hear its music. Now imagine, for a moment, what lies beyond the event horizon. Science cannot yet tell us. Some believe the singularity inside a black hole is a point where all the rules of physics collapse. Others suggest it may be a doorway, perhaps into another universe, another dimension. Could black holes be gateways? Could every black hole lead somewhere else? The thought alone stirs both wonder and suspense, because it means that falling into darkness might not be the end, but the beginning of something we cannot yet imagine. Picture yourself at the edge of such a horizon. You are weightless, suspended in silence. The stars behind you blur, stretched into arcs of light by gravity's pull. Ahead of you is only darkness, absolute and endless. You drift closer. Your heartbeat slows, your breath deepens, you are calm, even as you face the unknown. Because in that moment, you feel not fear, but awe. The black hole is no monster, no destroyer. It is a sculptor of galaxies, a shaper of stars. Without them, the universe would not be as it is. Black holes anchor galaxies. They stir the gas and dust that gives birth to new stars. In their silence, they create as much as they consume. Did you know that at the center of our own galaxy, the Milky Way, there is a black hole? It is called Sagittarius A*. It sits quietly, a giant millions of times the mass of our sun, and yet it does not devour recklessly. It waits, silent, patient. Orbiting stars dance around it like fireflies circling an unseen flame. We are not in danger, but we are held gently by its unseen gravity. It is a reminder that black holes are not distant myths. They are part of the universe we call home, and still the suspense lingers. What happens to the information, the particles, the energy that fall into a black hole? Does it vanish forever, lost beyond recovery? Or does the universe keep its secrets hidden inside? This is called the information paradox, a question that has haunted physicists for decades. If information is truly lost, it breaks the laws of physics as we know them. But if it is not lost, where does it go? The answer may change our understanding of reality itself. Close your eyes now. Feel the gentle pull of gravity, not as a threat, but as a comfort. It is the same force that keeps your body resting on your bed, the same force that keeps the moon circling the earth and the earth circling the sun. the same force that shapes black holes in the depths of space. It is not an enemy, it is a companion, and even in its most extreme form, it reveals the beauty of a universe that is still full of mysteries, still waiting to be explored. So let the thought of black holes guide you into deeper rest. They are the night's hidden heartbeats, the universe's secret shadows. They are suspenseful, unknowable, and yet deeply calming, because they remind us that not everything needs to be solved to be beautiful, that some mysteries are meant to be lived with, like dreams, like sleep, like the quiet passage of night. Have you ever wondered if there might be a hidden doorway in the universe? A secret passage through the fabric of space? A tunnel that could take you from one side of the galaxy to another in an instant, or perhaps even to another time? This is the dream and the mystery of wormholes. They have never been seen, never been touched, and yet their possibility lingers in the mathematics of the cosmos, like a whisper from the universe that shortcuts may exist. Picture yourself floating in the night sky. The stars stretch endlessly in all directions. If you wished to travel to the nearest galaxy, it would take millions of years at the speed of light. The distances are so vast that they make even the brightest dreams feel unreachable. But then imagine, suddenly, a door appears. A glowing tunnel opening in the blackness. On one side, your familiar star. On the other, a galaxy unimaginably far away. You step through, and in the blink of an eye, you are there. That is the promise of a wormhole, a cosmic bridge, a hidden tunnel through reality itself. The idea of wormholes comes from Einstein's theory of relativity, when he showed that space and time are not rigid, but flexible, that they can bend and curve like fabric. It opened the door to astonishing possibilities. If space can bend, perhaps it can fold. And if it can fold, perhaps two distant points can touch, like folding a piece of paper and piercing it with a pencil. The shortest path between 2 points is no longer a line, but a tunnel. This tunnel is what scientists call an Einstein-Rosen bridge, what dreamers call a wormhole. But here is where the suspense deepens. Even if wormholes can exist in theory, they are unstable. The moment anything tries to travel through, they collapse, like sand slipping back into a hole, unless, some physicists suggest, there is something strange inside them. An exotic form of matter with negative energy, something that could prop them open, holding the tunnel in place. Does such matter exist? We do not yet know, but the thought alone invites us to wonder. Imagine for a moment that wormholes are real. Close your eyes, you are drifting in your bed. The quiet hum of night all around you. And then suddenly you step into a tunnel of swirling light. Colors shimmer, space twists. You feel as though you are gliding down a cosmic river, weightless, timeless, safe. And when you emerge, the stars have changed. A new galaxy glows before you. Planets you have never seen, suns you have never felt. A new horizon has unfolded in an instant. The suspense of the unknown meets the calm of possibility. Did you know that some scientists believe wormholes could even connect not just places, but times? If space and time are woven together, then a tunnel through space might also bend time. One end of the wormhole might open into the past, the other into the future. Step through, and you are no longer bound to the steady river of time, but instead you drift into its hidden streams, What would it mean if you could walk into yesterday or step into tomorrow? The suspense of such a thought is enough to blur the line between science and dream. And yet, wormholes also raise haunting questions. If such doors exist, who decides where they lead? Would they be stable enough for a single person? Or could entire civilizations cross through? Could wormholes explain some of the mysteries we already see in the universe? The sudden flickers of strange energy, the odd movements of galaxies? Or are they only waiting, hidden, until we learn how to find them? For now, they remain theoretical. But in the silence of night, the imagination turns them real. Picture yourself standing before a wormhole. It glows faintly, like a circle of moonlight resting in the dark. Around it, space ripples like the surface of water. You feel no fear, only curiosity. You step closer, you reach out, your hand passes through, and you are drawn gently inward. It is not a fall, it is not a flight, it is simply a drift. Like slipping from wakefulness into sleep, like entering a dream. And here lies the most beautiful suspense of all. Even if wormholes remain forever beyond our reach, the very fact that they are possible in theory tells us something profound. That the universe is stranger, deeper, and more imaginative than we could ever invent. That reality itself holds possibilities we are only beginning to glimpse. And perhaps that is the real purpose of wormholes, not to transport us across galaxies, but to remind us that we live in a universe of infinite doors, some visible, some invisible, some within reach, some only in our minds, but each one a reminder that the unknown is never empty. It is filled with wonder. So as you drift deeper now, let yourself imagine that you are already traveling. Each breath a step through a tunnel of possibility. Each heartbeat a door opening into new horizons. You do not need to know where the path leads. You do not need to hold on to the science or the details. You only need to drift. Calm, weightless, timeless, as though the night itself is a wormhole, carrying you from this waking moment into the quiet expanse of dreams. Have you ever wondered, as you look up at the night sky, whether this universe is the only one? The stars above feel infinite, the galaxies beyond them uncountable, and yet, what if even this vastness is only a single drop in a much greater ocean? What if, beyond the edges of what we can see, there are countless other universes, some familiar, some strange, some beyond all imagination? This is the dreamlike possibility of the multiverse. Picture yourself drifting through the night. The sky above you is clear, the stars steady and bright. You are floating not through one universe, but through an endless sea of bubbles. Each bubble a universe, each one glowing softly in the dark. Some bubbles shimmer with galaxies, much like our own. Others flicker with different laws of physics. Perhaps one glows green, where gravity is stronger. Another sparkles blue, where time flows differently. Each bubble is its own reality, sealed and self-contained. And you are gently drifting between them, weightless, timeless, safe. The multiverse is more than science fiction. It is an idea that emerges again and again in physics. From the inflationary model of the Big Bang, which suggests that space expanded unevenly, creating endless pockets of universes, to quantum mechanics, where every choice, every possibility might branch into a new reality. Some physicists believe that our universe is only one chapter in an infinite book, and that the story does not end with us. It is a thought both unsettling and comforting. Unsettling because it means our universe is not unique. Comforting because it means reality is far bigger than we can ever comprehend. Did you know that if the multiverse is real, there might be another version of you? Perhaps not just one, but countless versions. A version who made a different choice yesterday. A version who lives on a planet where history unfolded differently. A version who never existed at all. The multiverse stretches the imagination to its limit. It is not just other galaxies we wonder about, but other realities altogether. And yet, even if these other universes exist, they remain hidden, sealed off from ours by barriers we cannot cross. We cannot see them with telescopes. We cannot reach them with rockets. They exist in theory, just beyond the horizon of proof. But does that make them less real? Or does it simply remind us that the universe is always larger than what we can observe? Imagine now that you are floating on a gentle river. The current carries you smoothly, silently, without resistance. Around you, the river splits into many streams, some flowing left, some right, some hidden behind shadows. Each stream leads to a different place, but you cannot follow them all. You glide gently down one. Yet somewhere, in some reality, another version of you drifts down a different stream. The river becomes a metaphor for the multiverse. Every possibility flowing, every path taken, every story lived. There is suspense in this thought, because if the multiverse is real, then nothing is ever truly impossible. Somewhere, perhaps, there is a universe where Earth has 2 moons. Somewhere, there is a universe where dinosaurs still walk the forests. Somewhere, there is a universe where you are listening to this very story, but everything around you is just slightly different. Perhaps the sky is a deeper shade of violet. Perhaps the stars hum instead of shine. The boundaries between science and imagination blur, and that blur is where wonder lives. And yet, the multiverse also asks something profound of us. If there are countless versions of reality, what makes this one special? Why should this version of you, lying here tonight, matter among infinite variations? The answer is gentle. It is because this universe is yours. This life is the one you are living, even if there are countless others. This is the one that breathes with you, the one that cradles you in this moment, the one that offers you stars to look upon and dreams to enter. The multiverse does not make you less important. It makes your existence part of a grander, infinite whole. Picture again the bubbles of universes floating in the vast dark. They drift like lanterns released into the night sky, each one carrying its own story, its own light. You glide past them, slow and calm. You pause to watch one shimmer with galaxies, another flicker with strange, unknown forms of life, and then you drift on, your body heavier with rest, your mind lighter with wonder. Each bubble glows softly, like a lullaby for the universe. And so, as you sink deeper now, let this thought comfort you. You live in a universe filled with possibility, a universe that may be only one of countless others. You are part of an infinite mosaic, a living thread in an endless tapestry. The suspense of not knowing is softened by the beauty of imagining. You do not need to solve the mystery. You only need to drift with it. Let it hold you. Let it cradle you. Let it guide you toward rest. The multiverse is not a puzzle to be solved tonight. It is a dream to float upon, and like all dreams, it will carry you gently into sleep. Have you ever wondered what time really is? We measure it with clocks, with calendars, with the steady rhythm of our heartbeat. We talk about it as though it is something flowing, always moving forward. But is that truly what time is? Or could it be that time is something far stranger than we can imagine? Something vast, mysterious, and perhaps even infinite. Picture yourself standing on the shore of a great cosmic ocean. The waves rise and fall, shimmering under starlight. Each wave is a moment. One wave is your childhood, another is today, another still is a future you cannot yet see. From where you stand, the waves seem to come and go. But if you could rise above the ocean, far above, you would see it all at once. Every ripple, every wave, stretching endlessly across the sea. That is how physicists sometimes describe time. Not as something that flows, but as something that simply is. Einstein's theory of relativity gave us one of the strangest truths about time. It is not fixed, not absolute, not the same for everyone. Time bends and stretches depending on where you are and how fast you move. Imagine two twins. One stays on Earth. The other travels near the speed of light. When the traveler returns, less time has passed for them than for the twin on Earth. One has aged more slowly. One has carried time differently. This is not fantasy, but proven science. Time is not a steady river, but a flexible fabric. But here is where suspense deepens. If time can bend and stretch, if it is woven into the very structure of the universe, could it also be something we only perceive imperfectly? Some physicists suggest that the past, present, and future all exist at once, like pages in a book, all written, all real, all waiting. We experience only one line at a time, but the entire book is already there. If that is true, then your future may already exist, waiting for you, unchanging, yet unseen. And your past has not vanished. It still exists, silently. Somewhere in the fabric of reality, imagine walking through a great library at night. The shelves rise higher than the eye can see, each book glowing faintly. You reach out and open one at random. Inside is your life. The first page is your earliest memory. The later pages are the days yet to come. You cannot flip to the end yet. You can only read the page before you. But all the pages are already written, already bound together. This library is time, and we are simply readers, slowly turning the pages. Did you know that near black holes, time behaves even more strangely? The gravity is so strong that time itself slows down. An hour near a black hole could be years for someone far away. To an outside observer, you would appear frozen, caught between moments. Time there stretches into suspense, almost as though the universe itself is holding its breath. And then comes the question that unsettles the mind. What if time itself is not fundamental? What if it is not a basic ingredient of the universe, but instead an illusion, a trick of consciousness, a way for us to make sense of change? Some scientists believe that at the deepest level, reality has no time, only relationships, only patterns. Time emerges the way heat emerges from motion, not a thing in itself, but a feeling of something flowing. Imagine again that cosmic ocean. You are floating on the surface, rocked gently by the waves. But this time, you dive beneath, and there you find the stillness. No waves, no flow, just an endless calm. It is as though the ocean of time has always been still. Only your perspective makes it ripple. Only your journey makes it move. And in this stillness, past, present, and future are all one, all held together in the quiet embrace of eternity. There is suspense in this thought, because if all moments exist at once, then perhaps nothing is ever truly lost. The laugh of a child, the warmth of a summer day, the quiet of this very night, they do not vanish, they remain somewhere. Forever, you may move on, but the moment still exists, and the future too is already there, waiting, shimmering, like a light at the edge of a path. Time, then, is not a thief. It is a landscape, a place through which we wander, step by step, page by page. But what does this mean for us, here, tonight? It means you do not have to race time. You do not have to fear it slipping away, because every moment you have ever lived is still part of the eternal whole. You are not moving through time. You are part of time itself, as constant as the stars, as present as the universe. So now, as you drift deeper, let yourself imagine that you are resting within time, not moving through it. You are a note in a song that is always playing, a wave in an ocean that never ends, a star in a sky that holds all nights at once. There is no rush, no loss, no urgency, only the gentle suspense of what page will turn next, only the calm wonder of being part of a story already whole. And as you close your eyes now, you can trust that you are held in this timelessness, safe, still, eternal. Have you ever wondered what happens at the very edge of a black hole? What it would feel like to stand at the brink of something so powerful that not even light can escape? Would it feel like falling into darkness, or like crossing into another world? Black holes are among the most mysterious objects in the universe. They are the end of stars, the collapse of giants, and perhaps the beginning of secrets we cannot yet imagine. Picture yourself drifting in space. The stars glitter around you like scattered diamonds. Ahead, a shadow forms, a circle darker than night itself. No light escapes it. No starlight dares to pass around its edges. A halo of fire burns, the last light of matter spiraling inward. It is both beautiful and terrifying, a cosmic whirlpool, silent and unyielding. You are gazing upon a black hole, a place where time, space, and light themselves are swallowed whole. Black holes form when massive stars collapse. At the end of their life, after burning through their fuel, they implode under their own gravity. The collapse is unstoppable. The star shrinks smaller and smaller until all its mass is crushed into an infinitely dense point. This point is called a singularity, and surrounding it is the event horizon, the invisible boundary beyond which nothing can return. Once something crosses that horizon, a star, a planet, even a beam of light, it is gone forever. Or so we believe, but here lies the suspense. We do not truly know what happens inside a black hole. Our laws of physics, so steady and reliable everywhere else, break down at the singularity. It is as though reality itself refuses to reveal its secret. Some scientists wonder if black holes could be tunnels, gateways not just to destruction, but to other parts of the universe, or even two entirely different universes. A black hole might not be an end, but a doorway. And if that is true, then every black hole is an unanswered question. Imagine yourself standing at the edge of the event horizon. Time slows for you. To an outside observer, you appear frozen, caught forever at the brink. But to you, the fall feels natural, smooth, endless. You drift inward, and the universe outside races forward without you. Billions of years pass in the blink of an eye. Civilizations rise and fall, while you continue to sink. Time itself bends around you like fabric twisting in the wind. What would you see? What would you feel? Would you vanish? Or would you emerge somewhere new? Did you know that some black holes are unimaginably massive? At the center of our Milky Way galaxy sits one called Sagittarius A*. It is more than 4 million times the mass of our Sun, and yet, from our perspective, it is hidden in silence. No light escapes it, but we can see the stars around it dance, orbiting an invisible shadow, as if bowing to a dark king at the heart of our galaxy. Even now, as you listen, that giant waits silently, a reminder that our universe is shaped not just by light, but by darkness too. There is also the mystery of Hawking radiation. Stephen Hawking proposed that black holes are not eternal, that they slowly evaporate, leaking tiny amounts of energy until they disappear. If that is true, then black holes may not last forever. They may fade into nothingness. But here is the question: when a black hole vanishes, what happens to everything it consumed? Does the information survive, hidden somewhere, or is it lost forever? This is called the black hole information paradox, a puzzle so deep that solving it might rewrite our understanding of reality. Imagine again, floating in space. You are drifting toward a black hole at first. You see the glowing disk of gas spiraling around it, burning with fire brighter than stars. It swirls like a cosmic whirlpool, beautiful and deadly. You feel no fear, only calm curiosity. As you pass the event horizon, the outside universe fades. There is no sound, no light, no time as you once knew it. Only the feeling of falling without moving, of being drawn into something eternal. It is not destruction, it is transformation, like closing your eyes and drifting into sleep. Some scientists even suggest that black holes might give birth to new universes, that inside their mysterious depths, new space and time could blossom. If that is true, then perhaps our universe was born inside a black hole from another universe long ago. A cycle without beginning, without end. Every collapse becoming a creation, every ending becoming a new beginning. The thought is suspenseful, but also deeply comforting. It means nothing is ever truly lost. It is only remade elsewhere, in another form. So, as you rest here tonight, think of black holes not as monsters of destruction, but as keepers of mystery. They remind us that the universe holds secrets beyond our reach, that not every question must be answered, that wonder is sometimes more powerful than certainty. Black holes are not just endings. They are invitations to imagine, to dream, to drift into the unknown. And as you close your eyes now, let yourself sink into that same stillness, as though you are falling gently, safely, into the quiet horizon of sleep. you do not need to fear the darkness. You do not need to solve the paradox. You only need to drift. Calm, timeless, infinite, like a traveler carried softly through the event horizon, into a place beyond questions, beyond thought, beyond time. Have you ever wondered if the universe is hiding more than it reveals? When we look at the night sky, we see stars, planets, glowing nebulae, and galaxies. But what if all that shining light is only a small fraction of reality? What if most of the universe is made of something invisible, something that does not glow, does not reflect, does not reveal itself to our eyes? This is the mystery of dark matter and dark energy, the hidden fabric of the cosmos. Picture yourself drifting through the universe. Galaxies spiral all around you. Vast wheels of stars, glowing like lanterns in the night. They spin gracefully, their arms outstretched, and yet, if gravity from their stars alone were holding them together, they should be flying apart. The spin is too fast, the pull too weak, but they do not fall apart. Something unseen holds them together. Something invisible, powerful, and silent. This is dark matter. It does not shine. It does not touch us. And yet, without it, galaxies would unravel. Without it, the night sky would not exist. Scientists believe that about 85% of the matter in the universe is dark matter. That means everything we see, stars, planets, oceans, people, makes up only a tiny fraction. We are the exception, not the rule. The universe is not mostly light, it is mostly shadow. And yet, this shadow is not emptiness. It is a hidden scaffolding, a great unseen web that holds galaxies in place, invisible strands stretching across billions of light years, binding the cosmos in silence. But if dark matter is mysterious, then dark energy is even stranger. In the late 1990s, scientists discovered that the expansion of the universe is speeding up, not slowing down as once believed, but accelerating. Something is pushing the galaxies apart, faster and faster. This repulsive force is not matter, not energy as we know it. It is something deeper, stranger, woven into the fabric of space itself. We call it dark energy, and it makes up nearly 70% of the universe. It is the dominant force, and yet we know almost nothing about it. Imagine the universe as a vast balloon. Galaxies are dots on its surface. As the balloon inflates, the dots move apart. The expansion is gentle, but then something begins to push harder. The balloon stretches faster and faster. The galaxies race away. This is what dark energy does. It is the silent breath inflating the cosmos, the invisible wind that drives everything apart. Did you know that when you look up at the stars, you are actually seeing only about 5% of what is truly there? All the galaxies, planets, moons, and glowing light make up almost nothing compared to the unseen. The rest, the vast majority, is dark matter and dark energy. It is as if we are living inside a great house, and yet we can only see the furniture, not the walls, not the foundation, not the air that fills the rooms. We live surrounded by the invisible, held in the embrace of forces we cannot see. Here is where the suspense deepens. What if dark matter and dark energy are not just mysteries to be solved, but clues that our entire understanding of the universe is incomplete? Perhaps they are not just hidden forces. Perhaps they are signs that the cosmos is stranger than we can yet imagine. Could dark matter be made of undiscovered particles? Could dark energy be a property of the vacuum itself? Or could they be hints of something even bigger, a deeper structure of reality waiting to be uncovered? Imagine yourself floating in a great cosmic web. The strands stretch in every direction, glowing faintly with hidden power. You reach out, and though you cannot see it clearly, you feel it, a presence, a structure, an invisible thread holding everything in balance. It is not frightening, it is steady. It is the quiet hand that keeps galaxies from drifting apart. It is the breath that expands the night sky. You are part of it. You are carried within it. You are never separate from it. There is comfort in this mystery, because even if we cannot see dark matter or dark energy, they are always here. They hold us, surround us, cradle us in their unseen arms. We are woven into the fabric of the hidden. And perhaps that is why the universe feels so vast, so mysterious. It is not emptiness we look into. It is fullness, a fullness we cannot see, but can sense. And so, as you drift deeper now, let yourself imagine the night sky not just as scattered stars, but as a living tapestry of the seen and unseen, the light and the shadow, the matter and the mystery. You are lying within a cosmos that is larger than sight. You are surrounded by invisible wonder. Safe, steady, endless, dark matter holds you, dark energy carries you, and together they whisper the universe into being. So close your eyes now. Let the mystery of the unseen guide you. You do not need to solve it. You only need to rest within it. Because just as galaxies are held in place, so too are you, steady, safe, part of the great invisible whole. The universe is more mysterious than we can know, but that mystery is not frightening, it is soothing. It is the quiet lullaby of the cosmos, calling you gently into sleep. Have you ever wondered what will happen when time itself runs out? When galaxies fade, when stars vanish, when silence stretches across eternity. The universe had a beginning, but does it have an end? This is one of the greatest mysteries science has ever faced, and tonight, as you close your eyes, we will step softly into the far future, not days from now, not centuries, but trillions upon trillions of years ahead, a time so distant it almost feels like a dream. Picture yourself lying beneath the stars. The night is calm, the sky is endless, and yet, as you stare upward, you realize that the stars you see now are only temporary. They are like candles burning in the darkness. One day, their fuel will run out, and the candles will go out, one by one. The lights of the cosmos will dim. The night sky will change forever. This is the beginning of the end. Scientists have proposed many possible fates for the universe. Each is as fascinating as it is mysterious. Some are gentle fades into silence. Others are violent collapses. All are filled with suspense. Let us walk through them together. The first possibility is the big freeze. In this scenario, the universe continues to expand forever. Galaxies drift farther and farther apart. Stars burn through their fuel and die. New stars stop forming. The night sky becomes emptier and emptier until one day there is only blackness, a frozen silence where no warmth, no light, no life remains. It is not violent, it is not sudden. It is simply the slow fading of everything into eternal night. The cosmos becomes a shadow of itself, a memory stretched thin across infinity. But there is another possibility. The big crunch in this ending, gravity, takes control. Instead of expanding forever, the universe slows, then stops, and then it begins to contract. Galaxies rush toward one another. Stars collide. Space itself folds in until all matter and all energy collapse back into a single point. A brilliant, fiery end, and perhaps the beginning of something new. Because from one crunch, a new bang might be born. A cycle of endless death and rebirth. A universe that never truly dies, but transforms again and again. And then there is the most unsettling theory. The big rip in this fate. Dark energy grows stronger over time. Its invisible force stretching the universe apart faster and faster. First galaxies drift away, then stars are torn from their galaxies. Then planets are ripped from stars, and finally, even atoms themselves are pulled apart. The very fabric of space unravels. Until nothing remains. This is not just an ending. It is a tearing of reality itself. The universe broken into silence. A quiet that cannot be imagined. Yet there are still more mysterious endings. Some scientists believe black holes hold the final secret. Over unimaginable stretches of time, every star, every planet, every galaxy will fall into black holes, and then, even those black holes will begin to evaporate. They will fade, disappearing into whispers of radiation. The universe will be left with nothing but darkness, a black, empty ocean of space. Silent, endless, eternal. But let us pause here, because endings are never only about loss. They are also about transformation. Think of autumn leaves falling. The tree is not dead, it is changing. Perhaps the universe, too, is not ending, but preparing for something new. Could the silence be the seed of another creation? Could the darkness be the womb of another cosmos waiting to be born? Perhaps the end is not the end, but a beginning, a mystery wrapped in silence. As you imagine these endings, do not feel fear, but wonder. Because the timelines we speak of are so vast, they stretch beyond imagination, beyond billions, beyond trillions, into numbers we cannot speak. The stars above you tonight will shine for eons. The galaxies will dance long after we are gone. The universe will not vanish tomorrow, or the next day. It continues its great unfolding, steady and patient, and you, for this moment, are part of that unfolding. You are stardust, thinking about the stars. You are the universe, reflecting on itself. Now, picture yourself floating at the very edge of time. The stars have gone out. The galaxies are shadows. You are surrounded by a vast silence. But you are calm. You feel the stillness. You feel the completeness. This is not emptiness. It is a kind of wholeness. The universe has told its story, and you are resting in its final chapter, a chapter written in silence, but full of mystery. And now, let yourself drift. Imagine the stars still glowing faintly within you. Imagine galaxies still spinning in your dreams. The end of the universe is far, far away, and yet its mystery is here. It reminds you how precious this moment is, how rare it is to be alive in a universe still full of light, still full of warmth, still full of wonder. So close your eyes, breathe in the silence, and let yourself rest. The universe is vast, mysterious, and full of endings we cannot yet imagine. But tonight, you are safe within it. You are held in its arms, carried by its endless story. And just as stars will shine for each, so too will your dreams, drifting, floating, timeless, into sleep. Have you ever wondered where the stars above your head truly come from? Those twinkling lights that seem eternal, steady, and unchanging. They feel like guardians of the night sky, silent companions watching us as we dream. But the truth is, stars are not eternal. They are born, they live, and they die. Each one carries a secret story, a story filled with violence and beauty, chaos and calm, a story that shapes everything we are. Picture yourself standing on a quiet hilltop, the night air cool against your skin, the grass sways gently in the breeze. Above you, the stars glimmer softly, like candles lit by invisible hands. But now, close your eyes and imagine the very beginning of one of those stars, far away in the cold darkness of space. A cloud of gas and dust begins to gather, slowly, silently, pulled together by the invisible hand of gravity. This is where a star is born, not in peace, but in a swirling storm of cosmic material. At first, it is only a whisper of light, a faint spark hidden inside the collapsing cloud. But the pressure builds, the heat grows, atoms collide, fusing, creating fire where there was once only dust. And then, suddenly, the star ignites. A newborn sun awakens in the darkness. Its light stretches across the void, announcing its birth to the cosmos. This is the first cry of a star, a lullaby sung to the universe. Stars, in their youth, are radiant and powerful. They shine with steady brilliance, balancing gravity's pull with the outward push of nuclear fire. Our own sun is in this stage now, steady, patient, nurturing life upon Earth. It burns hydrogen, turning it into helium each second. It shines with the energy of billions of nuclear explosions. And yet it feels so calm from where we stand, so constant, so reassuring. But beneath its calm face lies a storm of unimaginable power. Stars are like living beings, breathing, burning, and slowly changing as they age. Their songs deepen. A small star may live quietly for billions of years, its lullaby soft, long, and steady. But massive stars live fast and die young, their voices loud, their flames fierce, like fireworks blazing in the night. And then, when their fuel begins to run out, the lullaby changes, the balance shifts. Gravity begins to take over once again. The star swells, becoming a giant. Its light reddens, its skin expands, the gentle flame becomes a fiery roar. A red giant fills the sky, and then, in one last, dramatic moment, the star collapses. Some stars end quietly, shedding their outer layers into glowing clouds of color. These are called planetary nebulae. They paint the sky with ghostly beauty. And at the center, a small white dwarf remains, a dying ember that slowly cools over billions of years. Its song grows quieter and quieter, until finally it fades into silence. But massive stars die differently. Their lullabies end with a scream. When they collapse, the explosion is fierce. A supernova erupts, brighter than an entire galaxy for a brief time. The dying star outshines billions of suns, and in that moment, something miraculous happens. The heavy elements iron, gold, even the calcium in your bones are forged. They are scattered into space, becoming the seeds of new stars, new planets, and even life itself. When a star dies, it does not end its story. It passes its song forward. Every atom in your body once sang in the heart of a star. You are the music of the cosmos made flesh. Some stars die even more strangely, collapsing so completely that they vanish into black holes. These are cosmic mysteries, places where gravity becomes so strong that even light cannot escape. A black hole is like a silent note, a pause in the song of the universe. And yet, even in silence, it influences the world around it, pulling, bending, reshaping space itself. Now imagine this cycle stretching across the cosmos. Stars born in clouds, shining for ages, exploding in brilliance, fading into silence. This is the great lullaby of the universe, a song without end, a rhythm written into the very fabric of existence. Let yourself drift deeper into this thought. The stars above you tonight are not just distant lights. They are storytellers. Some are young, just beginning to burn. Some are old, whispering their last notes, and some have already died. Yet their light is still traveling toward us, reaching your eyes long after their voices have gone silent. When you gaze at the stars, you are looking into the past, hearing echoes of lullabies sung millions of years ago. And so, as you rest now, you are part of this cosmic music. Your breath rises and falls with the rhythm of stars. Your heartbeat echoes the pulse of galaxies. The lullaby that shaped the universe also shaped you, and tonight it hums softly within you, guiding you into rest, into stillness, into sleep. Have you ever looked up at the night sky and wondered if there are places where the rules of nature simply break? Places where time bends, light disappears, and the universe hides its secrets. Black holes are those places. They are the silent monsters of the cosmos, invisible, mysterious, and endlessly fascinating. They are both terrifying and comforting, because while they swallow everything, they also help us understand the true limits of reality. Imagine floating in the stillness of space. The stars are glittering like frozen fire. But then, in the distance, you see a patch of darkness, a place where no starlight shines, a hole in the sky, surrounded by a faint glowing halo. It looks empty, but it is not. It is a black hole, a place where gravity has grown so strong, so overwhelming, that not even light can escape its pull. How does such a strange thing come to exist? It begins with the death of a massive star. When such a star exhausts its fuel, its core collapses under its own weight. The outer layers explode in a supernova, but the center keeps collapsing, smaller and smaller, denser and denser, until it forms a point of infinite density. This point is called a singularity, and around it, space itself curves so sharply that nothing can get out. Not light, not sound, not even time as we know it. This boundary, the edge of no return, is called the event horizon. Once you cross it, there is no going back. It is like falling into a river with a current so strong that even the fastest swimmer cannot escape. From the outside, the black hole is silent. It does not announce its presence. It does not glow or shine. But matter that gets close to it begins to swirl, heating up as it spirals inward, shining brilliantly before vanishing forever. Like a cosmic whirlpool, pulling everything down into the unknown. But the true mystery begins when we ask, what happens beyond the event horizon? What lies inside a black hole? Is it truly an end, or could it be a passage? Some scientists believe black holes could be doorways, gateways into other universes, or tunnels through space and time. They are connected to the idea of hypothetical bridges that might link distant parts of the cosmos. Could falling into a black hole mean emerging somewhere else, perhaps in another galaxy, or even in another universe entirely? But black holes also play a role in shaping the universe we already know. At the centers of galaxies, including our own, lie supermassive black holes, millions or even billions of times more massive than the Sun. These giants hold galaxies together with their gravity. They influence the dance of stars, the motion of worlds, and yet they remain hidden. Silent kings ruling from the shadows. And here is the strangest part. Black holes are not eternal. They slowly evaporate through a process known as Hawking radiation over unimaginable timescales. Even the largest black holes will eventually shrink and vanish. When they do, they release their energy back into the universe. The silent monsters return what they once swallowed. The story comes full circle. But what does this mean for us? It means that even the darkest things in the universe do not last forever. Even the strongest gravity, the deepest silence, will one day fade. The black hole's end is slow, quiet, and inevitable. Just like a candle burning out, but while they exist, they remain some of the most powerful teachers in the cosmos. They challenge our understanding of time, space, and reality itself. Now let us drift into a poetic thought. Imagine standing at the very edge of a black hole, the event horizon shimmering before you like a doorway. Behind you, the universe stretches out, galaxies glowing like lanterns in the night. Ahead of you, nothing but darkness, a silence so complete it feels alive. Would you step forward? Would you cross the threshold? Or would you remain at the edge, gazing forever into the unknown? Black holes remind us that there are places we cannot yet go, mysteries we cannot yet solve, and yet they also remind us that discovery never ends. Each question they raise is like a star in the night sky, guiding us forward, inviting us to wonder. They are not just monsters, they are mysteries. Whispers from the universe saying, there is more to know, there is more to see, there is more to dream. As you rest now, let the thought of black holes comfort you. Because even though they are dark, they belong to the same universe you do. And you, like them, are a mystery in motion, full of questions, full of wonder. You are stardust with consciousness, a spark that can imagine the unimaginable. Tonight, as you breathe slowly and deeply, let the black hole become not a fear, but a lullaby. A reminder that even the deepest shadows can hold beauty, and even the greatest mysteries can sing you to sleep. Have you ever wondered if somewhere out there another version of you exists? A version who made a different choice? Perhaps one who lives in another city, with another life, or perhaps one who never even became human at all. The idea of parallel universes stretches beyond imagination. It whispers that reality itself might not be a single story, but a library of infinite tales, each written on its own cosmic page. Picture yourself standing in a grand hallway. The air is still, the silence heavy, Before you are countless doors, each one leading to another room, another world, another life. You hold the key to only one door, your own, but what lies behind the others? This is what scientists and dreamers alike have wondered for centuries. Could the universe be just one room in an endless mansion of realities? One idea is called the many worlds interpretation. It comes from the strange world of quantum mechanics. At the smallest scales, particles do not behave like tiny marbles. They act like waves of probability, existing in many possible states until observed. What if, instead of collapsing into one outcome, every possibility actually happens? What if, when you make a choice to lift your left hand instead of your right, the universe splits? In one version, you lift the left hand. In another, you lift the right. Each possibility unfolding in its own branch of reality. An infinite tree of universes growing from every decision. If this is true, then somewhere out there is a universe where you are not listening to this story. Somewhere else, you never found it. And somewhere else, you are not even alive. The thought is dizzying, but it is also strangely comforting, because it suggests that every version of life is being lived, every path explored, every possibility embraced. But the multiverse is not just a product of quantum theory. Cosmologists also wonder if there could be entire universes beyond our own, born from the same cosmic inflation that created ours. When the universe began, space itself expanded faster than light, like bubbles forming in boiling water. Perhaps ours is just one bubble, floating beside countless others. Some may be larger, some smaller, some may have laws of physics that resemble ours, and others may be so strange we could not survive within them. Imagine a universe with no stars, or one where gravity is weaker, or one filled with light but no matter. The possibilities are endless, and then there is the idea of black holes as gateways. What if every black hole in our universe is not a dead end, but a doorway, a tunnel that opens into a new universe? When a star collapses into a singularity, could it give birth to another cosmos on the other side? If so, then our universe itself might have been born from a black hole in some other universe. A chain of creations stretching forever, worlds giving birth to worlds, an endless family tree of existence. The idea of parallel universes is both thrilling and unsettling, because if they exist, we may never touch them. We may never see them directly. They may forever remain just beyond our reach. And yet, in our imagination, we can travel there. We can walk down that hallway of doors. We can wonder what it would be like to open one, to step into a reality where the stars are green, where time flows backward, where another you is staring up at the sky, asking the same questions you are now. But let us pause here and reflect. What does it mean for us if there are infinite universes? Does that make ours less special? Or does it make it infinitely precious? Because out of all the possibilities, you are here now, living this exact moment, hearing these words, breathing this breath. The universe chose this version for you, and that makes it extraordinary. Now, let us drift into a poetic vision. Imagine walking through a forest at night. The trees stretch tall, their branches reaching into the dark sky. Between them, countless fireflies glow, each one a universe, each one shining with its own story. Some flicker quickly and fade, Some glow steadily for ages. Some dance in patterns you cannot understand. You stand in awe, surrounded by infinity, knowing you are part of it, and yet also unique within it. The multiverse reminds us of the endless possibilities that lie beyond our sight. It humbles us, showing how vast reality might be, and it comforts us, suggesting that no path, no dream, no possibility is ever truly lost. Somewhere, somehow, it exists. In another branch, another bubble, another firefly glowing in the forest of eternity. So as you rest now, imagine yourself drifting gently between these universes, floating from one possibility to the next. The boundaries are soft, like curtains of light. You pass through them effortlessly. Each world whispers a different song, but they are all part of the same grand melody, the lullaby of the multiverse, infinite, endless, eternal. And as you sink deeper into relaxation, know that you are safe in this one. This version of the story is yours, and it is enough, because within it lies beauty, wonder, and rest. So close your eyes, let go of thought, and drift into dreams, where perhaps you too can wander among the other worlds, softly, gently, timelessly, until sleep carries you away.